Welcome, and thank you for joining me today. This bite-sized video is of particular interest to property purchasers and their advisors who want to find out more about the questions covered in the CON29DW. Today I'm going to be focusing in on the CON29DW Residential and the drainage questions. As an essential part of the conveyancing process, the CON29DW Residential provides key information regarding water and sewerage companies, assets and their services for prospective homeowners and their advisors, complementing their own due diligence. The report includes 25 standardised questions developed with the Law Society, and the residential product is regularly updated to reflect the legislative and industry changes. The standardised questions mean wherever you're looking to purchase a property in England, the CON29DW Residential will answer the same questions. You'll get a water map and a sewer map, and the report will answer 11 questions on drainage information, 6 questions on water information, and 6 questions on charging information. Just for awareness, the Drainage and Water Searches Network, DWSN, is an industry body for those who are responsible for producing full and complete responses to the CON29DW Residential and the CON29DW Commercial searches. It promotes good practice and is a specialist area and provides a forum for stakeholders to engage with the sector. As you can see, we answer 11 drainage questions with the CON29DW Residential, because when purchasing a property there are some essential things you need to find out, such as, is the property connected to the public sewer for foul and surface water, or are there any public assets within the boundary of the property that may restrict further development? We also answer the question, does the public sewer map indicate a public sewer within 30.48 metres, 100 feet, of any buildings within the property? There's a dual reason for this question appearing on the search. The first, and historically the most important reason, is to enable the buyer to determine the length of the existing private drain they are responsible for. If the nearest sewer was a considerable distance from the connected property, the owner could face a substantial repair bill, as well as issues accessing the pipe located under public land, should something go wrong. Fortunately, following the 2011 public sewers transfer, this is considerably less of an issue. The transfer saw the majority of private sewers and lateral drains in England and Wales transfer into public ownership, meaning the majority of the pipes are now the responsibility of water companies. The other reason for its inclusion, as well as a seemingly odd figure of 30.48 metres, which equates to 100 feet, applies to unconnected properties. If a property drains to a septic tank, the local authority has powers to force the owners to connect to the public sewerage network if the current arrangements pose an environmental hazard and there is a public sewer within 30.48 metres. This will usually be at the owner's expense, and the cost can be quite considerable. Another area which is of great importance and a potential home buyers where there is a potential to cause serious disruption to a household is internal sewer flooding. Water companies will know which public sewers and which properties that have suffered sewer flooding incidents, or are at risk of doing so, mainly from previous reported customer issues. Sewers are deemed at risk if flow from a storm is unable to pass through the sewer due to a permanent problem, such as the sewer being too small or the wrong gradient. Problems like a blockage or a collapsed sewer does not mean the property is at risk of internal flooding, as the problem was temporary and resolvable. This data will change regularly as water companies work constantly to upgrade inadequate sewers. Likewise, the sewers can be regularly added to the information as new properties connect to the network, increasing the demand on the system. One area to note is that the private sewers transfer of 2011, there was a significant number of sewers that were not constructed to the water company standards. Furthermore, as they were formerly private, water companies were unaware as to whether there was a risk of sewer flooding and only know about them as the flooding occurs. Flooding from overloaded sewers is the responsibility of water companies, and they do pay compensation to affected homeowners. Should a CON29DW residential search reveal that a property is at risk of internal flooding, will include a report detailing the further information. including any steps the company is taking to mitigate the problem. If surface water does not drain to the public's network, your clients need to also be aware that any properties built after April 2015 may be subject to maintenance charges for any sustainable drainage systems or SUDs. SUDs are designed to maintain stormwater locally as close to the source as possible. SUDs can help free up capacity in already established drainage networks, and the provision of SUDs can often be a prerequisite of planning permission. Pumping stations that have been built on or before the 1st of October 2011 have been adopted by the sewerage undertaker, and these previously private pumping stations can be located in all sorts of places, including in a homeowner's garage. So it's always worth checking the response, as you will need to allow rights of access for maintenance. Since the private sewer transfer of 2011, public lateral drains are the responsibility of sewerage undertakers, and it should be noted that they may need to enter the client's property at any time to undertake maintenance. Let's take a look in more detail at some of the questions. Building over a public sewer. Whilst it may seem strange for a CON29DW Residential to ask if a water company has been consulted on such matters, it's standard practice with planning applications. The planning and building control departments of local authorities will routinely consult water companies when any proposed application is in the immediate vicinity of one of their assets. Furthermore, smaller developments not requiring planning permission will also need to be approved by the companies if it is likely to have an impact on their assets. The reason for this is simple. The public water and sewer networks are vital, and it's important water companies can access their assets at any time, and that these assets have not been obstructed or damaged by building works. And whilst they're not as strict with the restrictions around sewers as they are with water mains, where building over or close to is outright forbidden, they will use their statutory powers to protect their assets. It's not just to protect the sewers, however. Building too close to a pipe could have a negative effect on the property. Although uncommon, a damaged sewer near a property can lead to flooding, and in extreme cases, parts of the building collapses. If a sewer has been built over or near to without water company's permission, the company has full legal powers to take whatever steps it considers necessary to protect their assets. This can be anything from inspections to making owners pay to divert the sewer, and in extreme cases, removing the building that has been built over their asset. It's primarily for this reason that the information is included in the CON29DW Residential. Water companies will hold the current owner of the property responsible for unapproved developments, regardless of whether they were the owner at the time. It's therefore best to check prior to purchasing a property whether all development work was approved, including around the sewers, so it doesn't cause any issues further down the line. Thank you for your time today, and I hope you found this useful. I provided a high-level overview of the key drainage points to consider when purchasing a property. Head on over to our YouTube channel via our website, where you can access more information with regards to and more content with regards to conveyancers and their support teams with continuing professional development, CPD. Thank you.